You can't think your way out of this. Well, you can think your way out of it, but it took me 20 years, and there's faster ways. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your Journey to Courage. I was really thinking about speed of getting over anxiety. The fast way, the slow way, the fastest way. And it took me 20 years. It doesn't have to take that long. So I'm going to just share a couple things that really helped me before I knew the fast way. One of the first things is that our brain stays in a loop. And that loop can be years trying to get over something. And I like to think of it as, I don't know if you guys had those racetracks for cars when you were a kid, but those cars just went around faster and faster until every once in a while a car would fly off the track. Well, we need to get our thoughts to fly off the track. And I know that sounds really weird, but if we can interrupt that loop and get the car off the track, get that thought out of that loop, it may not know how to get back to the loop. And so we can create a loop we want instead of a loop that we don't want. An example of this is every time my horse lifts its head, I feel like it's going to rear. That was a loop I played in my head over and over and over. And every time my horse lifted its head, I jumped off, reinforcing that the horse might have reared. Well, then I changed it. And I just drastically took the thought of my horse lifting his head as being excited for what we were going to do. Wow, the horse is excited for what we're going to do. And I played that over and over. The horse is excited for what we're going to do. And it felt so good the next time my horse lifted its head. I had broken the old loop and I had created a new loop. And it was by brute force. I'm not telling you it was easy. It was brute force. It works. There's some faster ways to do it, but it works. Real change happens also when our body feels safe. So when a horse would raise its head, my body would get tense. So I also had to break that loop. So now when the horse raises its head, I relax. I get excited in my body for what we're going to do. I get prepared. I put my weight in my stirrups. Does that make sense? You really feel yourself on the horse instead of feeling like you're going to get off the horse, which is what I was doing. So I broke the mental loop. I broke the physical loop by consciously relaxing when my horse raised its head. I went, we're going to do something exciting. And that creates calm. It's not by forcing yourself through it. If I forced myself to stay on when a horse raised its head and I was still afraid it was going to flip, my body would get more tense. So I changed the thinking and then I changed the body pattern. And those two go together. If you just change the thinking or you just change the body pattern, you have a disconnect. And it can work out, but it may not work out. So the next thing is lasting confidence comes from working with yourself to develop these thinking body loops. And they're really fun. Once you start doing these, once you start creating these thinking body loops that you want, they're really fun. So another one, just as an example, is I was afraid when my husband drove. I didn't like being a passenger. And so I changed the thinking loop to, wow, while my husband's driving, I can practice counting strides. I can look at telephone poles. I can look at, and just in my head, picture myself counting strides like I'm jumping. So mentally, I took myself into excitement to ride as a passenger because I didn't have to focus on the road like you do when you're driving. I could do other things mentally. Physically, I'd feel the rhythm of a horse. So I'd feel the rhythm of the horse cantering as I'm counting the strides. So now I'm mentally counting strides. I'm physically feeling the rhythm. So that is a new loop. I broke the old loop and I created a new loop. It's not perfect. There are times when I get in the car and I start going, and then I remember, oh wait, I've got a new loop. And I get excited about practicing counting strides and rhythm. So it's not perfect. But when our body and our mind are aligned on something new, it helps to calm us down. It really does. I don't know how else to describe it. And just like when we're riding on our favorite trail or going to our favorite horse show, our brain can get into loops of anxiety. Our brain can get into loops of, I don't want to do this. I want to do it, but I'm afraid. And we can create new paths for that too. Recognizing that anxiety is just a pattern and choosing a new pattern with our body and our mind is really fun. It really takes you to a new level of calm. And if you'd like a little support on this, I have a free Calm Ride strategy call. I'll put a link in the description. You can sign up and we'll just talk through where you're at, where you want to be, and any ideas I have on how to get you there. I've been doing a lot more videos on anxiety, and if you like, the last video I did is anxiety isn't random. There's a pattern, and it fits right in with this. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and watch that one. That's another really good one. See you guys later.